What's the difference between a career transition, redirection, or something else? And when can that occur? Welcome to Joanne Kaliontzis to the Language of Business.
Thank you.
What should we refer to you as? Graphic designer, artist, or both?
It could be either one or both, depending on the day.
And which usually wins out, passion or income?
Well, this week it's income. Much of my time is spent as a graphic designer, but I do spend quite a bit of my time as an artist doing my own types of projects that I would say is very much informed by my graphic design and my love for graphic design.
Tell us about the Emmys you've won.
Okay, well, when I was at Channel 7 in Boston, I was in charge of doing a lot of the design and promotion work for the on-air graphics. And that work, the collection of that work, was what I won an Emmy for. And then years later, in the early 90s, when working on a station in Dayton, Ohio, the design work that I did for their news programming was awarded an Emmy for the Dayton, Ohio area.
You started off as a graphic designer. You've worked for television stations.
Yes.
When did the artistic flair kick in?
The artistic flair was always there. But I would have to say at some point, probably in the late 90s, I kind of, as I have said to others, came to a paradigm shift that I couldn't shift with. And so that sort of was when I stepped out of the television business and moved into the artist community in the Fort Point neighborhood of Boston. And being surrounded by artists was, I think, influential for me sort of diving headfirst into my artwork.
Did it matter to you that it was coming mid-career?
No, I mean, we always hear about people having sort of midlife crises, and maybe mine came a little bit earlier than my midlife, but that's okay. I think what it did was it was a reset. Pursuing artwork allowed me to think differently about my graphic design work, to design work that I really enjoyed and loved to do, and clients that I really enjoyed working with.
And are those clients coming to you, or are you on the search for them?
Much of my work does come to me by word of mouth, and I always feel if I do a good job for somebody, they'll gladly refer me to the next person, and I feel that I do my best work via referral.
And depending on the type of work you're doing, do the referrals change?
Yes, they do. One experience that's happened over the past couple of years is, as I said, I was in television, fell out of sort of that circle, and about 2 years ago, I got a call about a documentary film, and did I know anybody who could do some graphic design work for that? And of course I said, well, tell me what you need, and then I'll make some calls for you. But then I looked at their list and I'm like, I can do this. And I found out that I liked it again, and through the connections made on that film, I've worked on 5 and 6 other types of projects in the film and television realm again, which is fun.
But if you keep jumping in and jumping out, how do you keep current on latest technology trends?
You have to be diligent. You have to be a reader. You have to be investigator. I certainly keep on top of the technology. I mean, you can't get behind with that stuff, because all of a sudden somebody says, well, that format is obsolete and you got to do it a different way. But then also too, I keep my mind current with respect to design and other things by going to conferences. And I do that just to reboot or reset, and it's something that I enjoy.
Do your clients pay you on an hourly rate or on a project basis, or perhaps even a retainer?
Well, the way I like to do work is I like to look at a project, the whole scope of a project, and determine a price based on what I think it should cost. And when I discuss projects in a full dollar figure, then there's rarely any surprises to a client at the end of the project. And if something changes down the line, some criteria or something that neither of us anticipated, sure, we can renegotiate.
Joanne, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Joanne Kaliontzis, graphic designer or artist, depending on the day.